What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, in game one, the Denver Nuggets did what they had to do, and it was more of a by committee affair. Everybody got into the act when it came to chipping in offensively and defensively and stymieing the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I think they only held them to, 80 points? 109 to 80 victory. It was a impressive victory by the Denver Nuggets, especially considering the fact that I thought the Minnesota Timberwolves actually had a shot at winning this. I had Minnesota winning in 6. And I was holding on to that prediction, but now I have to throw that one completely out of the goddamn window. And on Too Raw for Sports, expect me a little bit later on to go completely in on Karl Anthony Towns. He is a fraud. He's a disgrace. He is not a first option. I don't ever want to hear this dude ever compared to the all-time great centers ever again by anybody on YouTube, or I'm going to dish your motherfucking ass. I'm going to flame roast you, because you're going to know nothing about basketball if you put Karl Anthony Towns amongst the all-time great centers. He's a fucking disgrace until he fucking redeems himself, which I don't think he's going to do, because he's a fucking fraud. But anyway, back to this game. You may have heard me say, time and time again, to all of these Joker fanboys that's been out there, especially early on this season, they kind of been quiet lately. But I've told them, Jamal Murray is a legit all-star. He may never have made an all-star team, but he is an all-star caliber player. I've watched this man play. He was their leading scorer in the bubble, 26 plus points per game. First game, he got off to a shaky start. Got it kind of going in the second half, 24 points. I think he shot like 9 or 22 from the floor, but last night, Jamal Murray looked like the Jamal Murray that I remember in the bubble. Jamal Murray went off for 40 points last night. 22 of his 40 came in the second half, 10 in the fourth quarter, as the Denver Nuggets held on to a 122-113 victory and take a 2-0 series lead in this best-of-7 series. I'm now changing my pick. I was wrong. I thought the Timberwolves would be able to come away with an epic upset. That's not going to happen, because Karl Anthony Towns is a fucking fraud. Okay? I'm not even going to talk about his numbers in this game. Shout out to Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards finally had a breakthrough performance. 41 points. I believe that's a playoff high for him. 41 points in the game. He just didn't get any help from the other so-called franchise players and Karl Anthony Towns and the guy they gave up so much for, Rudy Gobert. I mean, did he even play Rudy Gobert? Well, yeah, he had 19 points, 7-11 shooting, 8 rebounds. Anthony Edwards, 41 points, 14 of 23 shooting, 6 of 10 from downtown, 4 assists. Karl Anthony Towns, 10 points, 12 rebounds, 3 of 12 shooting, 2 of 5 from three-point range. Once again, close to half of his shots are three-point attempts, and he doesn't shoot but 12 times. I think in the first game he had 13 points. So this guy has only scored like 22, 23 points in the first 2 games. Minnesota, to me, and I said this to a couple people that I know, and I said that there was going to be a changing of the guard with this Timberwolves team. It's becoming more apparent that this is going to have to be Anthony Edwards' team. Karl Anthony Towns is not a leader. He's not a first option. Whenever they need him to come out and be that guy, he's never that guy. You know what I mean? Yes, he's had some big games. When his shot's falling, yes, he scored 60 points in a game before. But then again, didn't Willie Burton score 53 points for the Sixers back in 94, 93, 94? I mean, sometimes you just have a game like that. You know what I mean? Uh, doesn't mean that you're a superstar. Um, Minnesota is a failure. I I'm not even sure if they're going to win Game 3 at this point. Now, I do think Denver's going to drop one of these games because they're only during the regular season, they're only 19 to 22 on the road. So, I mean, I guess that gives Minnesota hope. But the Timberwolves are choke artists, man. So I still give Denver one of these fucking two games. They're going to have a 3-1 lead, and they're going to go finish these motherfuckers off in 5. That's my new prediction. I think Denver's going to win in 5. And, you know, the pundits are going to forget that Karl Anthony Towns play like shit, and they're going to sell us a bag of fucking rocks next year that Karl Anthony Towns is better than Patrick Ewing, better than all these other fucking big men that we know will be smoking the fucking Denver Nuggets right now. As far as the Denver Nuggets is concerned, Nikola Jokic, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Trying to look for other players. Aaron Gordon, 12 points. Jeff Green, 11. Michael Porter Jr. has 16 on 5 of 7 shooting. But the man of the hour, Jamal Murray, 40 points, 13 of 22 shooting. 6 of 10 from 3-point range. I mean, he just eviscerated the Timberwolves defense. And he made history. This was his 5th game in the playoffs of at least 40 points or more. That sets a new Denver Nuggets record. The prior record was 4 playoff games of 40 points or more, held by Hall of Famer Alex English. Now, of course, it is a bit easier to score. These guys shoot a lot of threes, so there's extra buckets, extra points, I should say, not buckets. And it's just easier to score because defenses are handicapped. But still, let's give credit to credit where it's due. Jamal Murray. And like I keep trying to tell people, man, Jokic got help. Jokic got a lot of fucking help. They're the number 1 shooting team in the NBA. I think they're still number 1 in 3-point shooting. If not number 1, they're right up there. Jokic has a lot of help, and I remember Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray had 2 50-point games in the bubble in the playoffs. 40 games, 40 points or more. This is his first one. Just the second playoff game. This guy is averaging 32 points a game right now for the Denver Nuggets. So right now, he's been their best player. So that should smash all these Nikola Jokic fanboys who say he ain't had no help. Oh, he doesn't have another all-star, so, you know, that's what people gotta understand. Man, all-star selection sometimes a popularity contest. You know how many players in history that haven't been all-stars that should have been all-stars? I'm looking at a list right now of players who played like all-stars but never made an all-star team. Tyreke Evans, Tony Kukoc, Steven Jackson, Serge Ibaka, Sam Perkins, Ron Harper, Rod Strickland, Richard Jefferson, Purvis Short, Ray Williams, Orlando Woolridge, Monta Ellis, Mike Bibby, Marcus Camby, Lamar Odom, Kevin Martin, J.J. Redick. Yeah, I know I shit on him a lot, but J.J. Redick was pretty good at one point. Jason Terry, Jason Richardson. Remember? Jason Richardson, slam dunk champion. Never made an all-star team. J.R. Ryder, Jalen Rose, Happy Hairston, Eddie Johnson, Derek Harper, Drazen Petrovic, Damon Stoudemire, Corey Maggette, Cliff Robinson, C.J. McCollum, Cedric Cornbread Maxwell, Byron Scott, Arvydas Sabonis, Andre Miller, Al Jefferson. Never made all-star teams. But nobody would ever dare say if they was on the team that they was role players. So sometimes, man, listen to Too Raw sometimes, all right? Listen to what I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.